evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, July 17th, 2018. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, Tullahoma receives a state grant to help build a park in the eastern part of the city. We'll meet the newest honorary alderman. Motlow College is joining with Tennessee State University to offer a new degree program. And we'll hear more from the candidates for Coffee County Mayor and Coffee County Sheriff. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
When I was growing up in Coffee County, I saw firsthand the need for good paying jobs. When I was county mayor, working with other dedicated Coffee Countyans, we recruited $240.6 million in industry investment in Coffee County. 2,968 new good paying jobs to Coffee County. I'm David Pennington, candidate for Coffee County Mayor, and I ask you to join me and help make Coffee County an even better place to live and work.
Russell's got your truck, man. Russell's got your truck.
Keith Barnett here at the Russell Barnett Automotive family, and we have sold so many new trucks. We've got over 100 pre-owned trucks to choose from. Any make, any size, any model. It's as easy as going to russellbarnett.com to check out our pre-owned truck inventory. And remember, why buy your next truck anywhere else?
With the best selection anywhere, Russell's got your truck, man.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Welcome back. The Tennessee Department of Health announced recently the recipients of the Access to Health Through Healthy Active Built Environment grants. The city of Tullahoma is included in the list of 35 entities who are collectively being awarded more than $1.8 million in grant funding. The purpose of the grants is to award funding to communities to plan, develop, implement, and assess sustainable projects and programs to increase access to safe and publicly accessible opportunities for physical activity for a diverse group of users, including those who live, visit, work, play, worship, and learn in the community.
The 35 grantees represent every region in Tennessee. 66% of the grantees are from economically distressed or at-risk counties, as defined by Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development. Grantees are embarking on a diverse range of projects related to convening, programming, planning, and construction of projects which promote physical activity, including outdoor fitness equipment, greenway construction and signage, and creating park and/or recreation spaces such as playgrounds and walking tracks. Communities from 75% of Tennessee counties applied for the grants, totaling nearly $8 million in requested funding. Among other things, Tullahoma plans to build a new park on the east side of town.
Isabel Newton was introduced to the Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen last week as the latest Tullahoma honorary alderman.
Pleased to welcome Ms. Isabel Newton. Ms. Newton is a 2018 THS graduate. She is very, very active in her high school career. She was on the tennis team, Future Business Leaders of America. She served as an officer. She was on the green team. She was a member of the National English Honor Society. She's also a volunteer at the animal shelter. So I'll let her tell us in just a minute what her plans are this fall. But I'm also pleased to note that she's a Bel Air Bee, just like I'm a Bel Air Bee.
Once a frog, always a frog.
I guess once a bee, always a bee too. And not this summer, but in a previous summer, she was a lifeguard at Splash Island. So welcome, Ms. Newton. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
This fall, I'm going to attend St. Johns River State Community College in St. Augustine. I'm going to be studying radiology, and I'm going to be moving in with my grandma, and I'm very excited to be spending time with her and going to school.
She's excited to spend time with you as well. That's very nice. Yeah, that's very, very nice. Well, we appreciate you being with us tonight, and if you would stand here at your desk, I'm hoping that we have somebody that can pop around and take a picture.
Absolutely. I got this right out for you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Tennessee's rural communities will have a new pathway to higher education. This fall, Motlow State Community College will be offering Associate of Science degrees in Agricultural, Business, and Animal Science at its Fayetteville campus. The new degrees are part of the Tennessee Transfer Pathway Program, allowing students to earn an associate degree at Motlow while being assured that the credits will transfer to a bachelor's degree program at state universities in Tennessee. Motlow is partnering with Tennessee State University to offer a 2+2 degree program at the Fayetteville campus. The 2+2 program will enable participants to earn an associate degree at Motlow, then have the opportunity of earning a bachelor's degree in agricultural sciences from Tennessee State University, which can be conveniently completed at the Motlow Fayetteville campus.
Dr. John Ricketts, professor of agricultural science at TSU, said it could be a game changer for the rural community. Ricketts said, quote, 40 to 60% of jobs in the agricultural industry go unfilled or filled by folks that don't have any training in it. So it's not good for the industry, it's not good for the economy, and so there's a high demand for students with this ag science degree, end quote. So far, at least 20 people have expressed interest in the program. They will receive some distance learning as well as in-person instruction from TSU professors.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Gary Cordell, your Coffee County Mayor. I want to speak to you personally about the commitment I made to the citizens of Coffee County 4 years ago, that if elected, I would serve our county with honor and integrity. I pledge to work hard, to give 100%, to be effective and efficient in managing your county resources. I want to take this opportunity to assure the citizens of Coffee County that our county's financial condition is much stronger now than it was 4 years ago. We've had no property tax increase in the last 4 years, and our operating reserve fund balance has tripled. The most important question you must ask yourself when you walk into the voting booth is simply, who's best qualified to lead our county forward at this critical time? I have over 40 years of business, management, and leadership experience to best lead Coffee County. Much has been accomplished in the last 4 years, but we've only just begun. Coffee County, let's stay on track. I would appreciate your vote in the August 2nd general election. Thank you.
100 vehicles under $15,000 at 5 locations, both Tullahoma and Winchester. Keith Barnett here at the Russell Barnett Automotive Family, and new car sales have been so great. We have a huge selection of pre-owned inventory. Do you have a trade? Maximum trade allowance going on right now. 100 vehicles under $15,000, maximum trade-in allowance. Best website in the business at russellbarnett.com. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Welcome back. Tonight we continue our coverage of Tom Corrington's interview with the Coffee County mayoral candidates.
Tim, we're talking about key issues over the next 4 years. You said industrial recruitment is your number one. Is that,
Well,
is that where you're going to spend all your time?
No, sir. I'm going to work on the budget. I'm going to quit wasting money. We spend a lot of money and waste a lot of money in Coffee County. We've got to quit doing that because it's costing the taxpayers. And the taxpayers I talk to want us to be accountable for that money. And of course the Sheriff's Department, they're underpaid. I worked there 8 years, and the reason I quit because I wouldn't make any money. You had to work 2 jobs to survive. So we've got to work on that.
That's a key issue, and I don't know whether it's been settled in this budget go around or not. Sheriff Graves has been very strong about the fact that his folks are underpaid. He loses them, he has a lot of turnover, it makes the operation less efficient and costs money to conduct the additional training. So trying to bring those salaries up, but I don't know where that stands. Is he going to get any help this budget session?
They passed a raise for the deputies. So they got a raise. It was 35 cents, which is about $2.50 a day, which amounts to nothing.
35 cents?
Yes, sir.
An hour?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was, I don't know, something on the order of $2 or $3 behind competitive positions.
It needs to be because, like I said, the reason I quit, I almost doubled my pay when I quit, back when I quit. And these deputies now, when they go to the academy, they stay for a short time and they're looking for a different job because they can get a good raise right when they leave.
So we train them for somebody else.
Yeah.
We're training for somebody else, and that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Train them for the 2 cities and the base.
That's a big
Ain't
help.
that right, Tim?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they leave for Manchester and Tullahoma and the base.
Okay. Well, let's talk some about the overall budget. What is the budget? And Gary, I guess you should be up pretty close to this. What is the budget this time? And you said it was passed in the commission meeting a night or two ago. So how much is the budget, and is it up or down or sideways? And also there was some talk about having to come up with a modest tax increase. Where does all that stand?
Glad you asked, Tom. There was talk about a modest tax increase. As everyone in the county knows, we have gone through an extensive reassessment process. Now, as far as the tax rate, that we did adopt a certified tax rate the other day that they finally sent to us last Tuesday. We've been trying to get that from Nashville for some time. And the assessor's office has gone through an extensive process in going through all the reassessment and all that, and trying to determine as close as they can the proper values for properties all across the county. Extensive process. Having said that, the budget next year, including the school system, will be over $75 million. Okay, we did talk the other night, and the
$75 million.
$75 million for the next year, the next fiscal year, starting July 1 through June 30th next year. We've been trying to keep our operating reserve fund balance up around $2.5 million or so, and we tried to do that. Our best guesstimate is that it'll be a little less than that next year, but we did the other day in the
What'll be a little less?
Our operating reserve fund balance. We want to try to keep it about 2.5, but with some of the we did not adopt a tax increase, as I said. So we're thinking of our best guess would be that may be 2.1, 2.2 million.
Did you use 300,000 of your reserve when you did that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they actually.
And we got money in some different reserves,
Right.
so we had to borrow.
Yeah, you are talking about the rainy day fund,
Yeah.
the reserve fund, and you've had to tap it.
Right.
some.
But we did not the other night have a tax increase above the uniform.
Didn't you cut the sheriff's budget? Was it like 5%?
No, what we did in that, one of the commissioners,
to 4 million,
one of the commissioners made the recommendation
Right.
that on all the departments that have a total budget for the year of 500 or less, those would cut 1%.
1%.
Those from $500,000 to $1 million would cut 2%. Any of the departments having a budget over $4 million, over $1 million, would cut 4%.
Yeah, and that gets the sheriff department. So that 35 cents might be gone, Tim.
Yeah. But that
if
cut
you
out,
take 4%, what is the operating budget of the sheriff now? You've got two different.
It's about
budgets.
9. We actually got 3. You got the workhouse or the annex, and the jail portion,
when I was there.
and the jail portion, and the deputy
what's
portion.
The total of them?
So the total, that's over $9 million, and that's
so
that's
4% of $9 million.
Yeah, that's $360,000. So what we
well,
factored in that was all that together. If all that can be done, that cut. That cuts down about $520,000 as best we can guesstimate from the level we were working from. So that puts us back to about 2.2 million, taking the $300,000 out of the rainy day fund. But part of this whole dilemma came about when the sheriff department submitted a budget increase for this next fiscal year that was over $1 million over where we were last year. Going from $8 million to over $9 million. So that put the whole process in a tailspin.
And concentrating on 2 areas. Increasing the salaries for his folks that he's losing, and the other was the cost of the
workhouse
annex, the workhouse, and so we'll come back to that.
We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
I'm Philip Bourne, Stanley McNabb Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the Stan McNabb Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind Stan McNabb Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what a difference our detail can make.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Tom also spoke with Chad Parton and Steve Graves, who are candidates for Coffee County Sheriff. Tonight we bring you the second segment of that interview.
And as far as the annex, now in last year's budget, over a third of the annex wasn't even figured in last year because it wasn't operational.
Right.
You know, this is the first year it's been fully operational and it is certified. But to give you a little history, the annex was built back in 2000 and I think opened in 2001 with the agreement that the mayor and myself would not request any additional pay to operate a annex, which is by statute we could get $10,000 each apiece. We had an agreement, we've stuck to that agreement. You know, the annex has been a great buffer for us. But, you know, I'm not going to, I don't get anything for the annex, so I'm not going to fight the mayor, you know, if he wants to close the annex. I think it's a bad mistake, I really do. Because I like to see people out working. I like to see them picking up trash, litter, working for senior citizens. I like to see them out in the community working.
Well, if you close the annex, you're going to move them down to the jail. Why can't you keep working them?
Because it's a continuous struggle in our facility to keep contraband out. And what we noticed in the jail itself before we moved into the new jail, you know, it's really not fair to the people that's going out into the community and working, because if an inmate gets threatened, you either bring this in or you're going to get beat up. Then we're strapped with a broken jaw medical bill or a broken orbital socket, and that's happened over and over again.
Yeah.
And you know, it just doesn't work out in the community like that. Because they're in a pod with 100 other inmates.
These are, yeah, it was interesting that another aspect of the annex, the workforce, is the fact that for every day they work, they get a day off, another day off of their sentence.
Yes, sir. And you know, we've got people at the main jail that also work. They work the kitchen. They get days off for their sentence if they go through and get their high school equivalent diploma. We've now got a garden. They get days off for every day they work in the garden. You know, there's still opportunities to work, but they're not going out into the community not having to bring back contraband.
Yeah. Okay, up to this point, Chad, you got a comment on?
Yes, sir. You know what the sheriff is saying. It's a difficult task to decide. I too want the inmates out here working. I think we need to revert back and find out why we have so many inmates in our jail. Just less than 2.5 to 3 years ago, we went from a 250 to 260 daily average. Now we're right at 400 in the main jail. You know, we probably need to expand our workhouse program. I don't want to see it shut down. But I also understand the liabilities we have by working them out of the main jail. I'm going to work inmates. I'm going to find out a way how to do it, but the way we've got to do it is look at our judicial problem as a whole. Why do we have the sentencing we have for misdemeanors? What are we going to do with our judges and our district attorney general to reduce those and get those people back into the workforce so that we can we can have jail beds for criminals and help get them rebuilt into society.
That's a good issue, and I think we'll work on that a little more, folks. But
since that interview, the Coffee County Commissioners rejected Sheriff Graves' budget as submitted. Sheriff's deputies will receive a small increase amounting to about 35 cents per hour. More News Leader on 6 is coming up in a moment.
He said, well, I got you approved for it. All you got to do is go drive it and tell me you want it. We can do the papers today. and I walked out of here with pretty much a brand new vehicle.
I would recommend Dr. Credit to anybody.
If you don't think that you can get a car, come see these guys. They are amazing and they can find you what you're looking for. If they could do it with me, they can definitely work a miracle for you.
I would recommend them to anybody and everybody. Schedule your appointment with Dr. Credit at Russell Barnett Kia so you can drive away happy.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. The local band Chase Clanton and the Vintage Vibes were part of the entertainment lineup for this year's 4th of July celebration in Tullahoma. Let's watch as the group performs Some Kind of Wonderful.
I don't need a whole lot of money. I don't need no big and fine car. I got everything that a man can want. I got more than I can ask for. I don't have to run around. I don't have to stay out all night. But I got me a sweet loving woman, and she knows just how to treat me right. But my baby, she's alright. Well, my baby, she's clean out of sight. Don't you know that she's some kind of wonderful? She's some kind of wonderful. Yes, she is. She's some kind of wonderful. Yeah. And I hold her in my arms. You know she sets my soul on fire. Ooh, and my baby kissing me, my heart becomes filled with desire. When she wraps her loving arms around me, about to drive me out of my mind. Yeah, when my baby kissing me, chills run up and down my spine. Well, my baby, she's alright. Well, my baby, she's clean out of sight. Don't you know that she's some kind of wonderful? She's some kind of wonderful. Yeah, she is. She's some kind of wonderful. Yeah. Chase Clanton gonna preach the gospel one day. Is there anybody got a sweet little woman like mine? Her name is Denise that way. Got to be somebody got a sweet little woman like mine. Yeah, can I get a witness? 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 Talking about my baby, some kind of wonderful. 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 Talking about my baby, talking about my baby, some kind of wonderful.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Judy Jenkins, who will invite everyone out to the Love for Lanny fundraiser at Wesley Heights United Methodist Church Saturday evening. Cynthia Redicott from the South Jackson Civic Center will stop by to remind everyone about the annual South Jackson Ice Cream Social, and we'll have music from this past weekend's Joe Moon Foundation fundraiser. All that and more on this week's Living.
Stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
Have you ever been involved in one of these? And you need one of these? Then look no further than the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center. With a state-of-the-art facility, aluminum capabilities, lifetime paint guarantee, Russell Barnett Auto Rental, claims assistance from start to finish. We are here to serve you. So stop by and let us show you why we are number one, the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1980 at 100 degrees. The record low was in 1971 at 51 degrees. Average high on this day is 89 and the average low is 66. Mostly cloudy weather in the forecast for tonight with a low of around 70. Partly cloudy weather expected on Wednesday with a high of 89 and a low of 66. Partly cloudy weather continues in the forecast for Thursday with a high of 91 and a low of 72. And that's our news leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.